Oh shit. Mm-hmm. Yes, let's come on in here. I try to come on a little less late. I be on pretty late for these late night Q&As. I want to come on a little less late for y'all. What's up, yeah, man? I'm over live and direct. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Book one on the website. I have the link in the description. Breakthroughas.org. I had some consultations today, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. Knowing yourself is power. What's up, Dedication 666? Oh, you still have the intro. Like, see, look, this is how it works. Whenever I'm just on my phone, there's no intro, there are no commercials. This is just more of a Q&A, us chilling. When I'm on my computer, that's when I run the intro music, and those shows are more organized. Like when I'm on the computer, I have specific topics that I want to make sure I cover, and that show is that that one. Whenever you see that, you'll see a thumbnail, and that thumbnail will be something I made in Canva, and I'll have some catchy title, and that I'll probably play the intro music. But at night I don't be on. Like I could get on my computer, but honestly, I'm an outdoor nigga, man. I like sitting on my porch. Like I'm an LA dude, but people that know me, they be like, "Dwan, you the most country LA nigga I know." I barbecue. I sit on the porch. Like, I am completely LA and I am completely country at the same time. I'm a porch sitting outside, lemonade out the jar drinking ass city boy. So when I do my Q&As, I'm more in a vibration than you guys in the chat room. Like I really enjoy talking to y'all. You know what I mean? I really enjoy seeing y'all points of view on things. And then once y'all give me something to talk about, from there I just go off in a tangent and don't look at my phone for like 10 minutes because I'm sure y'all gonna say something else that's real good that's gonna distract me. Yeah. When I'm on my computer, it's more formal. I'm gonna take calls and all that shit. So that's the difference. What's up, brother love? What's up, Tasha? Hey, Tasha, you called me. Shit. I'm just not remember, Tasha, you called me. I would have called you back before I got on live if I thought about that, if I remembered. You called me when I was in class earlier, Tasha. I got this class I'm taking in business to kind of sharpen my skills a little more. You called me in the middle of that class. My bad. I meant to call you back. What's up, Aruba Alcox, Mel Smith, Trust the Shooter, Butter Love, everybody, thank y'all. But yeah, I got some good news. Like my shirts, my Hotepish shirts and my Incense and Ashtray shirts, they will be at a store in Leimert Park coming real soon. I'm going to have exclusives out of that store. Like I had like the t-shirts that are online now are much better quality than the old ones. They're way better quality. But my t-shirts I'm gonna have in Leimert Park is gonna be of the highest quality. A quality, yeah, but and I'm making it to where you can only get those down there in Leimert Park. And I'm gonna be down there probably about one. I'm probably gonna be down at that store about once a week. They're gonna be on the shelf all 7 days of the week, but I'll be down there personally once a week, maybe twice a week, but definitely once a week, probably Saturdays or Sundays. And then we can all meet up. Like if y'all want to come down and meet a nigga, y'all want to get the exclusive, highest of quality of all my shirts, they'll be down there at this one store exclusively. I'm not gonna say the name and advertise the store until I get that damn contract signed. You did? But I plan on hosting. events out of that space too. I'm sure like once my book drops, I'm probably going to do a live book reading down there. Um, that'll be dope. Do a book reading. How would y'all like that? Because I on Patreon, once the book drops on Patreon, we doing straight classes on the book on Patreon. But we gonna really dig in deep. But I think I'm gonna do a live reading just for the LA audience. Hey, no, I did not watch Tariq's interview yet. That's honestly that was my question. Do I watch Tariq's interview or do I go live with y'all? And I chose going live because I'm gonna watch Tariq's interview. Because usually I would have watched Tariq's interview first and then went live like at like 11:30 tonight. But I was thinking, man, some of y'all gotta go to work tomorrow and shit. Let me go on live now, talk to y'all for about an hour, and then when I'm done talking to y'all, I'm gonna go and listen to Tariq's interview with academics. What's up, Star? Yeah, yeah. My shirts are going to be in the Mert Park. That's the best place for my shirts to be too. What better place for my apparel to be than the Mert Park? Y'all dig? Y'all dig? Yeah. I just downloaded the interview. Like right before I went live, I downloaded the interview so I can listen to it offline on Spotify. Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch that shit. What's up, Amar? But I done forgot the title of my show. What did I call this the title of? I called this the title was I forgot that quick. Yeah, but that's gonna be a game changer. Me putting my clothes in these stores. Cause me personally, I like me. Like I be forgetting or the art of knowing yourself. I'm gonna get to that point. I'm gonna say this point, then I'm gonna get back to that topic. I'm not. I'm like, look, man. I'm not used to people like. I be out now. Y'all niggas be recognizing because I'm a big motherfucker. So if you see me, I can't hide. Like it's literally impossible for me to hide. I'm 6'2", 340. I'm not hiding from anyone. So when I be walking, there be people that be recognizing me, and I be like, it was this brother that recognized me. I was in the Fox Hills Mall on Saturday, and I was leaving a Fat and Tall store going to Macy's. And somebody like, hey, what's up? And he looked like somebody I went to high school with because he had a baseball cap on. I'm over here thinking I'm saying what's up to the homie from high school at first. And then as I got closer, I was like, that don't look like. He was like, yeah, no, yeah, I know you from Craig Facts. I'm like, oh, yeah, I be in the chat room. I'm like, okay, yeah, it was cool too. But nigga, when I'm out, I'm gonna tell y'all, I had this one chick that recognized me from this show. Where was I? I was somewhere, and she recognized me, and I was like, nigga, my ankles was ashy as hell. I'm in Crocs, and I ain't give a fuck. Now I'll be thinking like, God damn, people really do be like seeing you and shit. Especially if I go like in Inglewood, I'm anywhere like in Inglewood or where niggas be. Like, man, because when I leave, I like being in basketball shorts, nigga, a t-shirt. If I'm going to Target and Crocs. And if my wife don't see me before I leave, I'm gonna have ashy ass ankles too. Now my wife see me, she'll be like, "You better put some lotion on. You represent us. You can't be leaving this house, nigga, now ashy." All right, I'll throw some lotion on real quick, nigga. I was at the Fox Hills Mall, nigga. My ankles look like I just slid home to second base 3 times in a row, and I got called out each time. But my ankles bore the marks. I was looking ashy, nigga. I looked like I was crip walking in powdered sugar, nigga. I look like a motherfucking Ghanaian refugee, nigga. My goddamn ankles, boy, look like I had been skipping through a pizza dough shop. My ankles look like, nigga, I had just finished moonwalking in sand. Nigga, my ankles look like I just finished like a karate kicking bamboo sticks. Like I was just karate kicking bamboo sticks for 17 hours in a row. And after you've been karate kicking bamboo sticks for 17 hours in a row, imagine how your ankles will look. That's how my ankles looked when I was in the Fox Hills Mall on Saturday. I was fucked up, man. Yeah, like chicken and flour. I don't be giving a fuck. Cause here's the thing about me, man. My confidence, I'm a foot taller than you. Sorry, yeah. I'm a very confident person. I'm the kind of person that knows that, like, look, I know when it comes to whatever a person sees, that's the smallest part of me. As fat as I am, the physical is the smallest part, a component of who we are as people. And I know who I am. So I don't be giving a fuck. Long my here's my minimum requirements. I gotta smell good, like I'm never gonna stink, and my clothes gotta be clean and they gotta match. As long as my clothes are clean, they match, and my ass is clean, I'm good. I don't give a shit about wearing a $95 shirt, nigga. I would wear, you know what I was buying when I was in the fat and tall store in JCPenney? I was buying $17 shirts. And $13 shirts is what I was buying when I was in the Fox Hills Mall this past Saturday. I bought like 10 things and everything was on sale. Out of the 10 things that I bought, the whole receipt showed like $101. That's how I shot, nigga. See, me, I get around. See, some people do get around it. See, at Dedication 666, I'm never going to get by on my good looks. Yes, I'm a very attractive. I'm not an ugly motherfucker by far, by any means. But I'm at the same time, when I want to be, man, I'm charismatic than a motherfucker when I want to be. Oftentimes, I don't care to be charismatic. I just want to get in and get the fuck out. I don't want to talk to nobody. That's generally that's how I am when I go out. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to get in, get out, and I don't like talking to people, especially if I don't know you. I hate talking to people I don't know. I really do. I get nervous talking to people I don't know. I be sitting back thinking like, okay, what am I gonna say next? I'm not good talking to people I don't know one on one. Those situations fucking irk me. And that's another reason why it's difficult. Like when people recognize it, they want to talk, and I'll be like, I'll talk along with you, but when I'm one on one and I don't know you, I don't want to talk to you. I really don't. But I understand. So I had to grow and get better at that, and I've gotten better at that over the last year. I had to get better at it. But naturally, I don't want to talk to nobody I don't know. Fuck, hell, don't talk to me. Do not talk to me. But I have a knowing. I'm charismatic. I know how to charm when I need to, and that's how I get by. I never have been. Yeah, no, but I love you right. Lotion is necessary. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm right when it comes to my issues with lotion. I'm wrong. I just don't be giving a fuck. Now, don't get me wrong. If I know I'm going out, generally no. 98% of the time, if I'm going somewhere, I'm gonna have lotion on. I'm talking about like if in my mind I'm making a quick run. Like if I'm going to Target real fast. Like when I went to the Fox's Mall, I knew exactly what I was getting. I wasn't on a shopping trip. I knew exactly what I was getting. So I'm in basketball shorts and a t-shirt and Crocs. Nigga, let's go. Let me hurry up and just go there, get what the fuck I'm getting, and get the fuck back home. You know? But usually if I go to the Fox's Mall, I will have lotion on. I didn't this last time though. But if I'm just like gonna go to Target, or if I go out thinking I'm gonna make a quick little weed run, but when I go pick up my weed, I got to make one more stop, it's a 90% chance I won't have no lotion on my ankles at all. My knuckles gonna be ashy. Nigga, I'm like I've been gardening and like but them desert gardens. I'm not a grass gardening. Them gardens like them desert gardens with the desert shrubbery. I'm gonna look like I've been picking cacti. Nigga, if I'm just gonna make a quick little run and come back. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm wrong. Black men should always have lotion on. We should. We should. We shouldn't look like we just finished punching cinder blocks. But oftentimes, I don't give a fuck. I'm already married, and I don't give a fuck about what nobody thinks about my appearance. I really don't. Whatever you thinking, I'm thinking something funnier about you. That's how I look at it. Whatever you thinking, what I'm thinking about you is way funnier. So, and if you want to find out, say something. You'll find out real fast what I'm thinking is way funnier than you. That's how I look at it. Want to bet? Yeah. You say you in New Mexico? What the fuck you doing in New Mexico, real bread? Shit. This motherfucker over here eating hot dogs with sauerkraut and mustard, nigga, and corn on the motherfucker. Niggas in cats in New Mexico, nigga, y'all motherfuckers eat corn with everything. Y'all put corn on y'all hamburgers, nigga. What's up, Sinister? But no, I got lotion I like. I use that. Look, when I use lotion, I use the real shit. I use that Eucerin lotion. I have Jergens for when I travel, but nigga, I get that Eucerin dry skin. I got this chick in the Mert Park that got this cocoa butter, the shea butter. What is it? Cocoa butter, shea butter. So it's like a cream or some shit like that. Every time I run out, I got this chick in the Mert Park I go to. Give me some more of that hand cream. Well, see, this is why I don't smoke joints no more. These hoes keep going out. I done relit this short ass joint 10 times. Yeah. No. I use Eucerin lotion. I don't look when I use Eucerin and hand cream. And then for my car, I have for my little backup lotion in my car, I have a Neutrogena, the Neutrogena hand cream. The little small one, you just need that little small little dab, nigga. You can wash your hands 10 times in a row, you're gonna be good. Ain't gonna be no kind of ash, nothing. Like if I'm leaving the house, I'm gonna have lotion on people. Yeah, like I said, but if I'm making my weed run, ankles ashy, ashy ankles, ass ankles on my weed runs. You catch me at Ramona's, nigga, it's a good chance my ankles are gonna be ashy if you catch me at Ramona's ordering a special burrito, nigga, and cheese enchiladas. If you see Tasha, that was the last time I saw you, Tasha. I got Cedar Field too. I got Cedar Field. I got Cedar Field. Cedar Field is my backup to my Eucerin. When I run out of Cedar Field is my backup to my Eucerin. Yeah, but the last time I saw Tasha was at Ramona's, like shit, 2 or 3 months ago. Tasha, I don't know if you checked, but I promise you, I had ashy ass ankles when I saw you, cause I was at Ramona's, nigga. I promise you, my ankles were ashy as hell. And man, I don't do no leaf. I don't do no backwoods. Fuck that. I'm done with them. Like I said, I was only spoken in paper because I got so many. I had just ordered a whole bunch on Amazon, so I still got like 5 packs of papers left. But this is what I'm on right now, these billionaire hemp wraps. Hmm. Well, yeah, Watchdog sent you something. But nah, but just the art of knowing yourself. Like knowing yourself is the art. There's an art to it. There's a science to it and an art to it. And but knowing yourself is really knowing your cues when you on point and when you off point. Knowing, you know, which voice inside of you to listen to. Knowing which direction you're supposed to be walking in and being confident in that. Because it's really tough to be confident when you don't all the way know who you are. Matter of fact, that's where the lack of confidence comes from. If you're not confident in yourself, it's specifically because you don't know yourself. There's no way you can know yourself and not be confident. Like that is no way. Now you may have moments of times where you're not confident. You may have certain areas of your life you're not confident in. That's all of us. None of us are gonna be perfect. You're going to have areas like me. Again, I'm not confident in talking to people one on one. I don't like talking to people. Like I said, I tell you, I am confident when I'm not talking to one. I just don't like it. I am confident. There was a time that I wasn't confident though. Like if we're talking about me in high school or in my 20s, even my early 30s, I was never confident talking to people one on one. Never, never. I just got confident talking to people one on one in the last 2 or 3 years. And even though I'm confident in it, I still don't like it. I don't like it. When I go out and go somewhere, that's probably why I be ashy. I be looking like my wife. I be going out trying to look like a gremlin. So hopefully nobody come say nothing to me. I be looking like a ragamuffin. Yeah. So that's I think that's subconsciously what I'm doing. I really don't want nobody talking to me when I go out. And this is long before I had a public profile. I said this goes back to when I was a kid. And, in front of a crowd, I could talk all day. I'm hella confident talking. Like most people don't like talking in front of crowds. Me, the bigger the crowd, the more relaxed. The bigger the crowd, the more in the pocket I am. I've been in front of 10,000 people before. That's easy. In front of 1,000 people, whatever. 200 people, I don't, whatever. That ain't shit. But one on one, nigga, I'd be like, all right, I'll talk to you later. One on one, uh. But before I really knew myself, that was a major insecurity of mine. Like I thought something was wrong with me, and that made me want to do it less. When you think something is wrong with you, that makes you want to do things even less. You know what I mean? So I have to take the time to know who I am. And I found out ain't nothing wrong with me. It's just that we all have things that we good at and things that we not good at. We got things we got to work on, things that are okay. And you figure that out just by knowing yourself. And there's an art to that. And that art comes through listening. That lesson comes through listening. When you see things that kind of come easy to you, that's your path. That's an indicator. Okay, keep doing more of that. If every time you do a particular task, it's a struggle. There's a message in that. You know, but that comes like I said, these you decode these messages by knowing yourself is the root to all of it. It's like you could teach somebody something like in school. Your teacher could teach you something and you may kind of know it, but if you're in class, what do they say if we taking a test? Go with your first answer. Because you erase that first answer out of lack of confidence in the subject that you're doing. And you mark down something else. Now, you went from answering it right to answering it wrong because you didn't know that particular subject. Remember how that was in school? When you go with that second answer in school, that would always be the wrong answer. But you only went with that second answer because you weren't confident as you needed to be in that particular subject. You weren't confident in your ability to deliver the correct answer. So your lack of confidence made you actually outguess yourself. So the big thing is to torpedo all the bullshit is knowledge itself. You know? Oh, mm. Yeah, I got the hemp wrap now. This shit ain't gonna go out. This shit gonna burn until I tell it to stop burning. But like I was in a Twitter space last week, and we were talking about like somebody. I was on the panel talking. We were talking about like education, early education, and the education system as it pertains to black children. That's what we're talking about. Well, one of the people that was on the panel, one of the people that was in the room, they asked me, they were like, my child, I don't want my child growing up, and being around the wrong friends. I don't want my kid having a little coon friends influencing his mind to do, some cool shit or whatever. And he was like, but dude was a truck driver. He was like, I'll be watching my children's friends and making sure that they don't hang around this kind of person or that kind of person. And so he's asking me, what do I do to make sure my kids have the right to hang around the right people? I said, look, you can't micromanage a child's life. They're always going to be, even if you're homeschooling your kids, there are going to be times you can't be around. So the key to life, you can't be managing. And this is for you parents out there. This is just me speaking from my experience. I'm not telling you what to do. But you can't micromanage and point kids in every direction that you see is right. Kids have to learn how to make the decisions on their own. So whatever values you want a child to reflect in life, you have to instill those values and at the same time instill confidence within them. Because a confident person, a child that knows themselves, knowledge of self is everything. Once you know yourself, you're going to hold yourself to a particular standard. You're not going to allow certain people around you when you know yourself, when you know which voice to listen to. It's some parents in here right now. Y'all have kids that when they was 8 years old, they was like they had one friend at 7, and then at 8 they don't have that friend no more. And you asking, wait, whatever happened to your friend Jonathan? And your son, your daughter, they're like, man, Jonathan cheats on his test, and I don't want to be around nobody who cheats on their test or whatever. That came out of that child having somewhat of a sense of knowledge of self. You get past all the other issues when you instill knowledge of self in children, and in turn yourself. And that's a good point. Miles the Master just said, teach them discernment. Here's how you teach them discernment. Because there are two lessons. A big ass truck just almost hit somebody. Wow! It's a nigga walking across the street that almost got hit by a truck. God damn, that nigga ran the red light. That could have been all bad. But see, I told you, I'm the country ass nigga that be sitting on the porch looking at everything going on in the neighborhood. But nigga, where was I at? I lost my train of thought when I saw that motherfucker almost get hit by that truck. I had just looked up If he stepped off that curb, that nigga life will be over right now. Because that was an 18-wheeler. But oh yeah, discernment. We're talking about discernment. It's functional. You know, the long way to learn is verbally through words. The best way to learn is through experience. So here's how you teach discernment. And this is where today's modern parents generally fail and where our parents and our grandparents actually won. You teach the kids discernment through environments. The parent of today, of the last 20 years, wants the environment to change for their child. Let me say that again. The parent of the last 20 years, 25 years, has been the environment needs to change for my child. Meaning the adults stop cussing. I'm not going to take them around that uncle that smokes weed. You can't say this or do this around my children. I want to put them in a bubble. And then you want to turn around and teach discernment. Well, that child's not going to have much context for discernment. They may know how to fake it around you, but when they get into the real world, the smarter of the children, they'll get it. Some, maybe. But for the most part, they don't really have a context on when to apply discernment. Versus when you have children, I'm not saying let children go around to the fucking strip club. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying take the children around where everybody's drinking and smoking. I'm not saying like where it's like a Super Bowl party and it's gonna be all kind of adults. Niggas gonna be playing spin the bottle or whatever. I said spin the bottle. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Spin the bottle. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, I ain't saying take them to that environment either. But if it's gonna be an environment to where, you know, adults are gonna be around cussing, that's okay. A kid can hear that. A kid can hear all that. A kid can look at the uncle smoke weed. They can hear cuss words. Here's where the discernment come in. You tell the children, in this environment, this is what adults do. You're not an adult. You're a child. As a child, you can't do this shit. Although you see us doing it. When you hate the mode, that car going slow as fuck, nigga. All that goddamn noise for 17 miles an hour. The fuck is wrong with them? Goddamn, that's how it is. See, if that was an Asian, that should have been fast. I guarantee that was a Mexican. That's how the Mexicans be getting down out here. Loud ass cars going 21 miles an hour. But back to what I was saying. When you allow kids to be in these environments, they learn discernment contextually. I'm a child. Let me go over here and be with these other kids. And we do what we do over here. And we ain't adults. We can't do that. It's best that you have the kids see the debauchery with you around because these kids are going to see the debauchery anyway. And if you weren't around to give them the context and to teach your lessons of discernment, then they're not going to have any discernment on when they do things in different environments in different places. They may have heard your lessons, they may have heard what you said, but they don't know when to apply it. But if you allow them into adult environments moderately, and you teach them the context, you teach them, okay, this is how you act at church, that's how you act with your friends, this how you act when adults are around, this is how you act when there's only kids around. They learn and they learn real fast what it is. What's up, Kendall? Kendall, I've been meaning to call you too. I've been meaning to call Kendall the last 2 days. But look, trust the shooter. All kids. Look, there are. Let me see this. I don't want to say there are no bad kids because there's some kids that are little heathens that run around here. But good and bad. Let me tell you something about chaos. The lesson last night was about getting rid of the words good and bad and replacing them with positive and negative. Positive and negative are true. Good and bad are judgments. Let me tell y'all something about chaos. Chaos is every bit as divine as peace. They're equally in order. All right. So, how do I manage children with a lot of negative behaviors? I teach them how to harness that negativity. You need hurricanes, you need tornadoes, you need earthquakes. They all shake up stale things and they get rid of old for new. Remember, every ending is a new beginning. And there are certain people who are born with chaotic energies. Let me put it like that. There are people out there who are born with chaotic energies. Usually they're birthed by chaotic people. You don't really have people on the angelic vibration birthing out chaotic children. If you have chaotic children, look in the mirror or look at who you had the child with. Or, or here's the other exception. Look at your grandparents. I mean, look at your parents or their parents. Sometimes chaos skips a generation. It does. Sometimes chaos does skip a generation. You may have been the mild mannered one, but look at your brother and look at your parents. Children get what? Half of your DNA? 25% of your DNA, something like that? I forgot the number. So, but 85% of the time, chaotic children are born to chaotic parents, either one or both. And that ties into the lesson we had last week about choose wisely who you reproduce with. You're a peaceful person. You're a person that's calm. You like your space. You know what I mean? You like to chill. But look at who you having sex with. You having sex with the woman that is crazy. Now, as men, we do know crazy women generally are the best in bed. There's no denying that. They also cook the best too. Crazy women cook the best, and they're the best in bed. We understand that. But you got to ask yourself, is this crazy chick worth reproducing with? Because this crazy can be in my life the rest of my life. Is that worth it? Or if I am going to go there with her, put a condom on. There are ways to not reproduce that don't include abortion, right? Because if you have a child with her, you rolling the dice. I've seen this happen in my relationship counseling. Like I told you guys, I'd never tell stories online about what I do in real life. I always speak just in general. But I've seen it to where like you've had dudes that are like real mild mannered, real calm, and when you look at them closely, like I'm seeing these dudes now when they in their 40s. But when I look at them, some of these dudes was the corny nigga in high school. They didn't get no action in high school. They was horny as hell. What none of the chicks checking for them, cause you know what I mean. These motherfuckers dress corny. These niggas dress corny as hell. You know what I mean? They had no style about them. They wasn't funny. They couldn't make the basketball team. They played in the band, but they weren't even that good. And when they turned 19, this is what happens with a lot of these dudes. These dudes turn 19, 20, these corny ass niggas just out of high school. And then now the chick that got it cracking in high school, she may have started having sex at 13, 14. You know, so by the time she reached 2021, she's kind of been gotten like the ups and downs of life. That she's gotten school in the school of love hard knocks because she started sleeping with you know the 21-year-old nigga when she was 14. Let's stop acting like that's not normal. It happens all the damn time. I think it's nasty, but it's a lot of you nasty motherfuckers out there. Let's just tell the truth. So he's 20. He's just now starting to get his feet under him. He didn't get no attention from chicks. You know what I mean? Now he got a job or he in college. He's finding out more about himself. He's getting a little bit more confident. You know what I mean? She done had experience around the world already. They come back in contact at they 20, 21. You know, he's starting to finally get a little action. She's the chick that was the chick that he was always attracted to in high school and middle school, but she didn't fuck with him in high school and middle school because he didn't play football. You know what I mean? The nigga wore like the nigga wore the big clunky ass Air Forces that nobody wanted, but they was on sale at warehouse shoe sale. All of his white shoes had the little yellow bottom to the side, like brand new white shoes, but the base is yellow because he got them from warehouse shoe sale. Them niggas, them niggas. So she runs across him, and she's tired of these niggas that's been fucking her over. She kind of learned her lesson. She's learning her lesson at 2021. He ain't been taught no lessons yet. They have sex. All them other niggas know to wrap it up. He don't. Boom, here come a baby. And you know who that guy turns out to be? That guy turns out to be the person that, rest in peace. And I'm not criticizing all Kevin Samuels listeners. I'm not criticizing all y'all. Because I met more than enough niggas who just like him. You know, he does say some real shit. But this guy is the one that turns into, is a guy that has a Kevin Samuels tattoo. That's who he turns out to be. He's now in his 30s, late 20s. And he's bitter, bitter, bitter. Because he got this ain't shit baby mama and this badass kid that he don't know what the fuck to do with. So instead of him saying I was a cornball ass nigga in high school and I wore yellow Air Force Ones that should have been white, and all my black T-shirts was actually a little bit pale gray because nigga I didn't I washed my shit and put it in a dryer, so I had a whole bunch of ashy ass clothes. The chicks that didn't want to fuck with me finally started showing me some attention when I was 2021. Had a baby by her because I was on some man. She was a shit in high school. Now looking at her life is in total shambles right now. And you the rebound come up nigga. And you the free dinner nigga. And you got some pussy one night. Now y'all got a baby. And now you bitter at all black women. And no, you don't have a black woman issue. You chose one of the not good black women. It's a fuck ton of great black women out there. You made a bad choice because you was a cornball ass nigga, and you acted like Eddie Winslow from Family Matters. You know, corny. You know, the live niggas act like the Fresh Prince. These corny ass niggas was Eddie Winslow. You was the Eddie Winslow ass nigga in high school, and you made a bad decision. So now you have Kevin Samuels talking, and he's saying some things that make you be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, that's not black women. That's your cornball ass decisions. Am I right? So that's what happens. That's what happens. And now you have a kid that got her mama's hot blood, but you come from like a regular, normal ass, like chill family, and you don't know what the fuck to do. For you dudes that are out there in the situation, and I know it's a lot of you niggas out there, even though you ain't gonna say nothing, holla at me. I was able to diagnose your situation clearly because I've seen it and I worked with it literally hundreds of times in my life. Just holla at me. Got a whole plan to shape you up and get you talking to your child and get your child to give you a level of respect that child don't even show the other sibling. And at the same time, if you're the parent that's chaotic with chaotic children, I can also help you out with that too. Because chaos, if harnessed properly, is every bit as divine as peace. Properly channeled chaos is a beautiful thing. Let me tell you something. Properly channeled chaos directs its chaos at things that need to be cleaned up. And they're not as chaotic around the peace. But when you're misguided, you're chaotic around the people that you should be giving the peace to. Y'all ever notice that? The most chaotic people you know, they always raising their shit around the peaceful people. But when it's somebody that's in the room that's just as buck as they are, they cower down. They be all calm and shit, all docile. Like, hold on. All that rah-rah shit you been talking, now you in a room with somebody that's with the rah-rah shits, now you want to be quiet? I know you niggas see that shit. I know I'm not. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I know y'all see it. There's nothing wrong. See, the problem is chaos has been marginalized, and darkness has been marginalized and pretty much seen as irrelevant. Chaotic people. I noticed with me, with my last job, all the clients, y'all have heard my stories. With all the stories that I have, they don't get chaotic around me. I'm extremely good with schizophrenic, with bipolar schizophrenia. I'm great with bipolar schizophrenia. With those people, oh yeah, yeah, they may be in the episode, but when I come around, they not no more. I know how to talk to them because I know how to reach people's soul. I really do. And not here on the internet, but in person. I know how to get directly to that soul. And when you know how to speak directly to someone's soul, you're going to get the best of them every time. Because everybody's soul wants what's best for them. Some souls use chaos for that means. Some souls use peace for that means. Most souls don't know what the fuck they doing with the inside. So if you learn how to manage your chaos, you can have a very constructive life, a life that you end up living that. Because everyone's life has a high vibration. That when I read your cards, I can read what things are going to look like if you live on the higher vibration, and I can read you what things are going to look like if you live on the lower vibration. Like I can read where you are, and I can read month by month where you will be. Versus, it's like for those of you who play Grand Theft Auto, when you play Grand Theft Auto, you have certain missions you do. The decision you make alters the course of the game, but you still reach a successful end of the game. Life is no different. Everywhere you go, you have choices, and that choice is going to give you a negative result or a positive result. But the reason why I say don't use good and bad and positive and negative is because if you get a negative result, that negative result is something that you can learn from, and you can turn that negative into a positive. Math teaches us that, you know. So negative result means learn. positive result means continue to do more of that. Going back to knowing yourself, you got to ask yourself when you go through these things, these issues in life, did you have a positive result or a negative result? And you remove your emotions from it. And you look at it logically. Was it constructive or was it not constructive? And if it wasn't constructive, you change it. If it was constructive, you keep doing more of it. Very simple, yet complicated because, again, most of us don't really pay attention to ourselves enough. We're too busy looking at other people. What is this person doing? What is that person doing? What do they think about me? Let me tell you something. Fuck what people think about you. All right? There are certain environments when money's involved, you're going to have to put on a certain show to get what you need to get. That's different. But on a day-to-day, mundane level, who gives a fuck what your cousin thinks about you? It doesn't matter. Your cousin's thoughts, like thinking about what the person down the street thinks about you, that's like pissing into the wind, fellas. You got piss coming all back on you, on your clothes, nigga, on your shoes. That's what thinking about other people's thoughts is. It's literally like pissing into a windstorm. Nigga, you giving yourself a golden shower. God damn it. It's not important. What matters is what do you think about you, and you stay in a constant mode of self-assessment. Mike Tyson came up on Craig Facts. That shit will be great. You're right, Quan. The loudest person in the room is usually the most insecure. Hey, Larry, get the fuck out of here, dog. Hey, Larry, Frank and B. Wiley hit me up. They want to go down to the pool hall. I might cut this shit short and go down to meet the niggas up at the pool hall tonight. I ain't playing pool in a minute. Pool hall open till 2, so as soon as I get up off this motherfucker, that's where I'm going. Mm. Oh, that black woman Senator twerking. She's a Caribbean chick, and she is. That's never acceptable. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, context and discernment. You gotta have discernment for when to do what you do, and when you decide to do that as a senator, as a representative of the state, you know, you're representing your constituency. It's bigger than you. That's the thing about it with the senator. Going back to that great question somebody asked earlier about, context and discernment. There's a time and place for everything. And when you're a state representative, you're represented. I said representative. Ha! You're represented. You're representing a constituency that trusts you to bring legislation that's favorable to their living conditions. That's just business. Politics should always be about business. What am I going to offer you in exchange for your vote? If you're offering me a twerk and I'm living in your district, now it'd be different if she offering pussy to all the single niggas out there. Like, hey, all single voters, you can come ride this not so nice booty. Cause she was, she wasn't shaped like one of ours. You know what I mean? I'm not here to catch. I'm not the best looking motherfucker, but what are you doing? She didn't have that. A boom, 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 boom. She didn't have that. You know what I mean? But for the little she had, she offering, a free 7 minutes to all the single niggas in the community for your. All right, now they getting something for your vote. 7 minutes. Wear a condom. If that's what she offering, then it's okay. But that's not what she's offering. She's offering policy. What does you twerking got to do with policy? That's just unacceptable behavior all the way through. And they said, "Oh, nigga ass niggas." Yeah, they are. But but yeah, it's What are my thoughts on Jalen Walker? You know, we're at war. Expect that. And if you go back and go back and watch my video I did, reading of the United States. I said in that reading that the United States birthday is July 4th. It's about to get cracking. We are in schizophrenic times. You're about to see more Jalen Walkers. You're also going to see more these bullshit ass school shootings. Unfortunately, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but it's going to be a lot of. It's about to be a very cracking summer, all right? And it's going to be cracking again when the country reaches Mars. Mars is the third 52 day cycle. So what's the third 50? What's the third 52? Third 7 weeks. So that'll put us at this 7 week stretch is gonna get us through July 4th through about August 20th, and then August 20th to the end of September. So yeah, October, November, it's gonna be cracking like a motherfucker again. The, October, November, that's when you start expecting those food shortages. Last year, the supply chain shortages hit us in tech. This year, October, November, the food shortage, is gonna hit. They're already testing us right now with these expensive food prices. Expect the price of food to triple as we go into October, November. Expect it. At the same time, interest rates are going to continue to go up, and you're going to start seeing these housing markets falter. In October, it's going to start to look a lot more like 2008 when October hit, like economically. But the cool thing is, for people, for us, this is the time for us to really get on point. And if you're on point with your shit, you're gonna start seeing more unification. It's gonna be a lot. This is a good time. Now, this is one of those things where like the shit that you see happening in the streets, that's just a play. Look at everything that goes on the news. The news, just look at the news as a play, and it can only affect you if you play the game along with it. All right. If you stay in tune with yourself, if you listen to yourself, if you do right by yourself, you're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. The play that's playing out in the media around us, let it play out. Don't jump in they little abortion discussions. Don't jump in they this law change discussions. Oh, they're gonna come for your civil rights next. This play on the news is they're about to try to scare the fuck out of us. I wouldn't even be surprised if they do a fake ass alien invasion. I may sound crazy, but nigga, this is happening within the next year. I wouldn't be surprised if they simulate some alien type shit. Like, hey, some fucking Martians are coming, and your instincts are gonna be like, man, it's some bullshit. But if you pay attention, you gonna fall into it. This is the time to separate yourself from what's going on around you. Go inside. Go inside. Go inside. Go inside you. This is all about you, nigga. This is selfish time. Treat yourself good, man. For real, for real. Treat yourself good. If it's something that you want to do, god damn it, do it. Stop fucking thinking about that shit. Do it, man. That's how you treat yourself good. You treat yourself good by goddamn doing it, man. If it's somebody in your life that you want to reunite with, they've been coming up on your mind lately, Call them. If there's somebody that's been coming up on your mind, call them. Check up on them. Whatever grudge y'all got, man, let that shit go. If that's what your instincts are telling you to do. I ain't saying call somebody that fucked you over and you just want to fuck one more time. And I ain't saying do that. I ain't saying go to do that. I'm saying like it's somebody out there. You know, it's somebody out there that like they've been coming to your mind a lot lately, and you've been thinking about them, but you've been hesitant to call them. Call that motherfucker. Yeah. Frank Green said, "I'm minding my own black ass business." Yeah. See, what's happening is what we're going through is the cleansing that we've all wanted to see. We live in a very corrupt society, very corrupt systems. That shit needs to get cleaned up. These systems is what's hurting, and that's good. You gonna be fine. Follow your instincts. Yeah, that woman needs to get checked by the people in the Senate over there doing some upside down twerking. That's Maxine Waters. Look, when I grew up, women named Maxine used to, every black woman named Maxine in church. You couldn't walk past Maxine in church as a 16-year-old girl with short ass skirts on. Shit, Sister Maxine, get Ebony, get over here, girl. What you doing? Here. Matter of fact, I got a slip in my car. You gonna put this slip on, and you gonna put it around your waist, and you gonna sit here, and you gonna listen to the word of Jesus. Walking in here with that short dress. Come on. That's what Sister Maxine used to do at church back in the day. Shit. Maxine Waters didn't say a goddamn thing. Now I get it. That girl was state senate, not federal senate. I get it. Different job, that night, but still, you still got to somebody got to check. Somebody got to check her. Hell yeah, Miss Maxine to call your mama. You better not ever fuck up around Miss Maxine. Maxine to check your ass, and she check you in front of all your. You be in church around in youth service. Miss Maxine check you in front of the whole youth department. You be embarrassed like a motherfucker. All the niggas be laughing at you. Man, I'm still close with my friends I met in youth department in church. Like a lot of them. We still be on Facebook clowning. And youth church was fun as hell. Like the lock-ins and shit. And it be funny, like people that know me from church, they still be laughing at me reading cards. Cause I was a nigga when I was 14 in church. Every like youth service, I always had something to say. Like when the youth pastor be talking, I always had to give my point of view. But I'd always be funny as hell when I do it. Like I used to always be in church. That shit was fun. But I was like really into church back when I was like 14, 15. I took that shit hella serious back then, boy. And these niggas, like I had a fight party last year, and we was smoking in my garage. And somebody that went to my church, they like my homegirls, a lot of them, they still come to my fight party. And she was like, Dwan, what is this? And it was my ancestor altar. And it was an altar I had set up at the time and that I used to commune with my grandmother and my ancestors. And I print pictures, you know, and I had just set that altar up. And it's right next to my weed box. You dig? And she was like, ancestor altar? Man, nigga, you done changed. I'm like, hey, you goddamn right. Didn't church have that one song? I know I've been changed. Angels in hidden love. That bullshit. Y'all know that song. That's right, Tasha. Leave something to the imagination. But yeah, that twerking chick, that's just trash behavior. But let me tell y'all, even that's coming to an end. We're in a different season right now. We're in a different season right now. That whole over sexualization, that had its time, but that time is over. The time of realness is coming back. Everything in life is a pendulum. Everything goes 180 degrees. That pendulum swings at 180 degrees. It doesn't hit that shit. It's starting to go back the other goddamn direction now. People are tired of the bullshit. So, and people, they've been tired of it, but people are starting to get more vocal about it. People are starting to put their money behind it now. You know? Watch this Beyonce album. I'm telling y'all right now, this Beyonce album is going to do mediocre. Now the Beehive, they all gonna get the album, 100%. But outside of the Beehive, this album's not gonna do well. I saw that picture she posted with her basically naked on the horse. I'm like, I'm looking at the album, just the message the album cover was saying, and I'm thinking that would have hit hard in 2009. I don't know how that's gonna hit now outside of your fan base, and it's a lot of media. See, the people who buy into media, they're easily fooled. They're gonna believe everything Rolling Stone magazine is saying. Beyonce has an industry behind her, so they're going to write the narrative however they write the narrative. And the album is definitely going to go platinum at least, because even if it only gets 80,000 sales, they're going to buy the rest of the album. However many albums need to buy to hit the platinum the first week, the record company is going to make up the difference, either through bot farms or through buying the albums. That's what they do. These labels buy their own albums and then sell you a story. But when I read up on what the album was going to be about, Beyonce was saying that she's going to do a party album, and what all of us what we're going through right now, we need a party. And I'm not sure if that's tone deaf or not. If you know what I mean. Do people feel like they need to party, or are people starting to get more focused now? What's going on? Like, just check the temperature of society right now. What do you see? Do you see a group of people who are looking for a party, or do you see people getting more and more focused on what's going on? It's just like reading the tea leaves. You know what I mean? You're right. No more Cardi, no more Meg. The temperature is changing. You know, the temperature is like, it would do an it would do like Kendrick did a great job with his newest album. Although I do see signs of co-op in that album, I do see those signs, but not enough for me to say nothing major. Sometimes people got to pull the Booker T. Washington and play a little bit of the game to keep the game going. Maybe that's the little bit of co-op that I feel in that Kendrick album. And if it's like that, I do understand. But it would do an artist really good to come out with their version of what's going on right now. And I have a feeling Anderson .Paak is going to do something like that. Because Anderson .Paak is very conscious in his music. If you listen to Anderson .Paak, this Bruno Mars project with Anderson .Paak, that was his chance to make more money than he ever made in his fucking life. I get it. But if you see what Anderson .Paak is doing right now with his new studio, he's only allowing live music, live musicians. He's the person to look out for. He's who I'm looking at to be the next legit blow up rhythm and blues star, Anderson .Paak. He did the right thing by teaming with Bruno Mars because at the end of the day, the world likes black music from non-black people. So a non-black person doing our music, if they're halfway decent at sounding like us and dancing like us, they're always going to outsell us. That's just the world we live in. If they're non-black and they can dance black enough, and if they can sing black enough, they're always going to outsell the black person that does it right in today's world. I get it. But when you listen to Anderson .Paak's Oxnard album, the Ventura album, all of them have genuine streams of consciousness. Genuine. You know? So he's on his tour right now with Bruno Mars, making more money than he'd ever made. And he didn't smut himself out to do it. Anderson .Paak, matter of fact, made live instrumentation vogue again. Even though the album itself, to me, is like, it's cool. I like, personally, I don't like throwback albums. I just like, I want to hear the year I'm in right now, just with live instrumentation. Because, like, you can't recapture the 70s. The 70s was the energy. Those are the children of the civil rights generation. Those are the children that were around, that were alive in the 50s. And they were 7 and 8 years old when they saw, 10 years old when they saw, the civil rights legislation get passed. So they lived in both worlds. Their parents were directly, their parents lived their whole lives in Jim Crow. Come out the South, move to the city. That was just a time that can't be recaptured. You know what I mean? Because music genres exploded between 1940 and 1970 because that was the time that the cities were getting filled. You had Chicago being filled up by people from Memphis, people from, Mobile, from Alabama, and they're bringing their music along with them, and they're fusing with other black people from other parts of the South and creating a sound for themselves. So by the time you get to the 70s, you get to the zenith of that. The 70s are the children of the parents who worked in the factories that paid them enough money to buy them instrumentation and get them trained by music teachers or in church. And they lived in these all black enclaves and segregated away from, there wasn't this multiculturalism at the time. It was either white or black, and you lived in a completely black neighborhood around us and around with those experiences of relative freedom just after, you gotta remember, just after, for those years, 1965, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, through like 73, 72, there was a relative freedom in black America. And I say relative, I don't say freedom. I said there was a relative freedom. Post civil rights, pre-war on drugs. They're listening to James Brown say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. They're 14 years old when that song drops. You know what I mean? They're 18 when Papa's Got a Brand New Bag drops. So they're raised in this stew of soul. These are the children of that environment. Music is a product of the environment. You have the relative freedom that black people, the first time black people had relative freedom since Reconstruction. The only other time black Americans had relative freedom in this country was the period between 1866 and 1877 during Reconstruction. That's when we had over 100 people in state houses around the country. But anyway, that time in the 70s, there was just a stew of soul. Soul is in vogue. You know what I mean? Black masculinity is in vogue. Shaft, you know, Pam Grier, black woman with afros. So that energy, and then at the same time, in 1976, that's a bicentennial. That's why you had the Philadelphia 76ers. 76 was a very big energy for this year. That's why I say 1976, the greatest year ever in music history, followed by 1975 and 1977. To me, those are the three greatest years in music history: 75, 76, 77. Really 76. There was just a vibration in this country at the time. There's a celebratory mood in Black America. Like my dad said, during civil rights, we thought we had what? He's like, so this is my dad said. My dad said, nigga, when we got them civil rights, we was out there living tickled and fancy free. And the whole time we out there feeling tickled, Reagan came in and tickled our balls. Reagan came in and tickled our balls and yanked them motherfuckers away from us. All the time. He said Nixon and Reagan. We was partying. Nixon started the job and Reagan finished it, and we didn't see it happening because we was too busy partying. So the music was so good, that was a good and a bad thing. It was so great, the niggas partied too much, you know? But that energy could never come back. That was the energy for a period of time. We're in a different world now. So you can't recreate that with today's musician. We have a different experience, than that generation. We have a different soul, we have a different feel. And you're not going to get that feel out of Bruno Mars' voice. Anderson .Paak got the soul. And on the drums, he was great. But Bruno Mars has a great voice, powerful, strong, cool. But it don't have that grit. It don't have that grit. And you hear it on Love Train. Listen to Bruno Mars' Love Train, and then go listen to Michael Cooper sing it from Compunction. And it's two different songs. Michael Cooper belted that shit out. Bruno Mars sang it. Cool. Michael Cooper felt it. What's up, Straight Fire? Hey, dog. Larry said, get that dick ball out. I'm out of here. No. Hey, chill, dog. No. There's one good song on the album. There's some cool songs on the album. But I'm telling you right now, there is one song I love on the album. And that's that song Blast Off. Nigga, I love that shit right there. Nigga, Blast Off is the shit that you play when you on them shrooms. Nigga. We'll watch the world go crazy from outer space. Blast off and kiss the moon tonight. Nigga, shit. That blast off is the shit. Especially when you on them shrooms, boy. That's a mushroom ass song right there. Larry Dukes, that's my guy. But on one end, here's why I stopped hating when people remake it. This is the reason why. The reason why I stopped hating when people remake it is because it brings money back to the original artist. A lot of these artists didn't get paid right the first time around that shit got released. See, black artists got fucked over in the 70s, for real, for real. We made some of the greatest music ever, but a lot of that shit didn't get recorded. They would put that album sale under somebody else, not them. So they didn't really get paid the way they should have got paid. When one of these new crossover artists remakes the song that they made, they get paid more off that remake than they did on anything during the original creation. I guarantee you Bootsy Collins got paid more on this album than he has with anything he did with Parliament Funkadelic or James Brown or his own Bootsy's Rubber Band. I guarantee you Bootsy Collins got paid more off this album than he did that. When people like with them doing that, with Bruno Mars remaking a song, it makes it puts Confunction back in the mind of concert bookers. So now Confunction's going to get more road gigs out of that. You see what I'm saying? Because when you remake a song, it sparks a curiosity, especially in the mind of like the young musicians coming up and the young artists. They want to go back and hear that original. Like the reason why I'm so into Parliament Funkadelic is because Ice Cube was my favorite as a kid. Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and Snoop, them three. But Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and Snoop, they had so much Parliament music. I'll never forget how I got into Parliament so heavy. I would listen to the old school station, but when I was learning how to play the drums, the dude that was at my church told me, he's like, go listen to Parliament Funkadelic. If you listen to them and play the drums like that, if you learn how to play drums like that, you'll always have work. And so I went and got Parliament Funkadelic's greatest hits. And this is like 1997. I'm 16 years old. And as I'm listening, I'm like, hold on. That's Ice Cube. That's Dr. Dre. That's Rapid Forte. That's DJ Quick. And I'm like, hold on. So I started taking my money I'm making from playing the drums at church, and I started buying everything I could, part of it Funkadelic, every tape I could. And as I listened to it more, yo, that's Digital Underground. That's Too Short. And that's how I became a Parliament Funkadelic fan because of the remakes. I like the remakes so I like the originals. I mean, I like the remakes. So it's like, and I gotta find that. Then so when I would hear it, I'm like, so that when I got to the point, so by the time I was like 16, 17, I'm like, man, I grew up in the 90s. The 90s was the remake era. Everything in the 90s was a fucking remake of something. It was a sample of something. Everything. There was very little original, especially as you get to the late 90s. Early 90s, there was a lot of originality. We start getting to 97, 98, 99. Man, everything's a fucking sample. Everything been done before. And Biggie's dead. Now you got Jay-Z out remaking and re-saying all of his fucking rhymes. So when we start to get to like 98, 99, when that bad boy era hit, I was at that point, I was kind of done with my music. Like, thank God for Baduism and fucking Urban Hang Sweet, Embryo, Firstborn Second, those albums. Outside of that neo soul sound, outside of D'Angelo and Jill Scott, Raphael Sadiq, outside of that sound, man, the shit that's playing on radio. Now we got these fucking Yin Yang Twins and Nelly and DMX is cool, but I like DMX, but this Jay-Z nigga say a whole bunch of shit I done heard before. I was like, people be thinking I just found out Jay-Z came up in the late 90s, and mind you, this is the era that I'm discovering music from the 70s. Because I'm a musician and I'm just trying to learn how to be the best drummer I can be. So I'm learning music from the 70s, I'm learning jazz. In the 90s, that's when I get turned on to Chick Corea and Herbie Hancock and Miles Davis and Oscar Peterson and Max Roach. I had this guy in my church who's like a jazz, like, dude just was everything jazz. So when I'm 15, 16, I go over his house about once a month and he let me borrow his jazz albums. And I would borrow them for a month, record them from album to cassette tape. That's how I first got Kinda Blue by Miles Davis, recording his albums from album to cassette tape on my record player. This is before Napster. And so that's what I'm doing. So as I'm listening to this stuff from the 60s and 70s and the 80s, I'm hearing Jay-Z say a line that I heard from a song from the 70s just yesterday. I'm like, hold on. I heard that before. And at the same time, this is when Kanye is coming up as a producer. This is the bad boy era where everything's a fucking remake. All About the Benjamins come out. I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker done flipped You Got the Love by Shaka Khan and Rufus. And then I'm listening, then same thing with Dre. And now I'm listening to Eminem come out. Oh, Slim Shady. Oh, that's Pain by the Ohio Players. So when I'm 16, 17, 18, it's tough for me to enjoy the popular music of the day because everything that comes out that's popular is a loop that I just heard 2 days ago from the Ohio Players, from Gladys Knight and the Pips. So I kind of, my music, when it comes to me and my relationship with music, I'm someone who I remember, I'll never forget the feeling that I had. I used to love, like in the summertime, the good music would come out. Like in the summertime, that's when BBD would drop. That's when Jodeci would drop. Come and talk to me. All that shit would come out around the summertime. In 91, 92, like 90, you know, America's Most Wanted, the 91, 89, America's Most Wanted, 88. All them years, the music would always be good. And I'll never forget, this is how I felt when I was 12. 93, this is my honest to God opinion. 1993, that's the year I turned 12. That was the last year I liked all the music that came out. So when I talk to you guys about the history of music, I'm not only studying the history, like if y'all go back and watch my How They Took R&B episode on Incense and Ashtrays, I gave you guys references, but I had to, all I did looking for the references, it was just matching my feeling I had at the time. Like when 93 came, that's when, like, Tupac is out, everybody out. Outkast is out by then. Um, and then like 94, 80% of the music that dropped was good. Still a lot of good shit in 94. But it didn't feel like 93. And then when 95 came, like 60% of the music I was feeling. But it wasn't as good as 94. It definitely wasn't as good as 93 and 92. But then by the time 96 get, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't like no, I liked when Tupac dropped his album, Tupac and Big, when they both dropped their albums in '96. I liked both albums. Some songs that I hated other songs. part of the reason was because I also remember back in '96, that was when the studio gangsters got really big in LA. It was too many studio gang, like the niggas that you grew up with who was just straight up squares, didn't even like post contact on a basketball court. Now they saying cuz every other word. Because when that shit dropped, that shit turned on so many studio gangsters. But I remember '96 being a good year and the bad. Like '96 was like 50-50. It was good, but some bullshit started to come into the music. More so in R&B. Hip hop reached its climax at '96 to me. R&B, by the time '93 came, after '93, R&B started to go in the trash after '93. Like little by little. Hip hop was still getting a little better. R&B was on had R&B had been on the decline since 1981, honestly. But when it hit '93, R&B took a nosedive after '93. That's not them fucking whisper singers came in and all that shit, whispering their music instead of singing it. This dumbass rolled across the street on a razor scooter with the ambulance coming. You dumb motherfucker. But these, I just remember the music, the quality of R&B getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. This nigga don't turn his fucking siren off. Usually we done told them motherfuckers turn their sirens off when they come down the street. And they usually do. I got a fire station like 500 feet from where I live. About 1,000 feet. About 1,000 feet. Like, damn. But you're right. The '90s had a lot of one-hit wonders, and the reason why I had so many one-hit wonders, Frank Green, was because what they started to do in the '90s was they started to like play games with the producers. Like you used to be able to have one producer for the whole album. As the '90s progressed, okay, you got this producer for this song, that producer for that song, and you got an album with 12 songs and 12 producers. There's no continuity to the album. So one song is gonna hit, maybe two, and the rest of the album is gonna be trash. The '90s had a lot of trash ass R&B with one hit. Like your best acts from the '90s, they didn't really have good albums. Like Tony Braxton had some good albums. Um, SWV had like one good album. TLC Crazy Sexy Cool was a cool album. But for the most part, good albums were few and far between in the '90s. You had good songs, a lot of good songs, and a lot of dope remakes of those songs, remixes. Hell, usually you'd have one song with two different remixes that's hotter than anything on that whole fucking album. It'd be one song that got like two, maybe three remixes, and that single with the three remixes is better than that whole album. That's what the '90s was about. So when I started doing my research on how they stole R&B, it just confirmed what I felt at the time. I just remember music getting worse after '93. On the R&B side of the game, music getting worse and worse and worse. And on the rap side of the game, after '96, you know, DMX was around. He was the real one, but like, who is this nigga Jay Z repeating every fucking song I've heard in my life? Who is this nigga? But people who didn't, I was different. I'm weird. I love music. So when I'm 16, I'm listening to the Temptations and Earth, Wind and Fire and Smokey Robinson and Marvin Gaye and Teddy Pendergrass and Anita Baker. I'm listening to them more than I'm listening to any. I'm not listening to motherfucking Cash Money records at that time. and all that. No limit, no limit, and they 15 albums a week that came out. I'm not listening to nothing No Limit other than The Last Meal from Snoop. That's my shit right there. Snoop's The Last Meal. I think I'm losing control. So I'm trying to whistle. So I remember feeling this shit at the time. So when I started doing my research for my music tree, when I started doing my research for these episodes I bring to you guys on the history of music, when I read that report that story from Too Short, he talking about '93 is when they shifted and they started like changing how many progressive songs you can put on versus how many drug dealing songs. When he said that, I remember thinking like, man, I remember '93 really being the last year that I liked everything that came out for the most part. Man, that was tradition in my household to watch Video Soul, nigga. Come on now, Video Soul and the Box. Like the Box came out like in '90, I think '90 or '91. I think it was 1991 when the Box came out because that's when that song Aisha dropped. And Aisha used to be on the Box 10 fucking 15 times in a row. But for you young niggas, y'all don't know. It wasn't no ESPN sports shows all day. Like ESPN, they would fucking be showing like chopping contests at 1 in the afternoon at 12 o'clock and calisthenics classes. It wasn't shit on TV. So we had the Box. So we watched the Box all fucking day. Especially during winter break when like when it be raining. Summertime, at least we go outside in the summertime. But winter break, when it be raining, nigga, we be inside watching the Box. So yeah, crisscross. Make you wanna jump, nigga. That's what we be watching. But then like when '94 hit, I started seeing it happen slowly. So by the time we get to '99, when I graduate high school, I'm more into Parliament Funkadelic and Frankie Beverly and Maze and motherfucking Dizzy Gillespie than I am Jay Z, than I am, you know, any of them niggas. When was that group? What was that 2000 when Jagged Edge dropped that one song? This one I knew R&B was all the way dead. When Jagged Edge came out with a song saying, "Meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it." I remember when that song dropped. I was in college, my first year of Santa Monica College. And I had just finished listening to some good old whispers, some dramatics. I love the dramatics. I got turned on to the dramatics from Doggy Style. It's a doggy dog world. That's what turned me on to the dramatics. I just been listening to the dramatics. You know, on a hook, behind the door, in a closet, on the floor. I'm listening to that good ass the Manhattans. And then a song drops saying, "Let's get married because we ain't getting no younger." Like, nigga, that sucks. Who the fuck want to get married to somebody just because you ain't getting no younger? You sound like you don't even like her ass. What the fuck nigga, you wasted your time and her time. Matter of fact, I want to take a survey. How many people got married to that song are still married to the person they got married to that song? What percentage of people got married to "Meet Me at the Altar in Your White Dress"? We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it. I'm willing to bet 80% of them hoes are divorced right now. I'm guaranteed goddamn to you. Yeah, even the Reverend remix. I remember when that shit dropped. I mean, I'm thinking like lyrically, mind you, I'm 19. This is my generation. I'm supposed to like this. This is the group that's supposed to replace Boyz II Men and Jodeci. Jagged Edge. They supposed to be the next thing. And those are your lyrics? And I get that those are the lyrics, but the fact that that song became a hit and it has that one little R&B loop. It's not even a real R&B song. It has a hip hop loop. And then it has the remix with Bev Run. I mean, there are no key changes. There's no bridge. There's no. Where's the bridge? I'm over here listening to the song. Like, I noticed that right when it happened around 2000. I'm like, damn. Because mind you, at the same time in 2000, I'm also listening to fucking Tina Marie and Rick James. I'm like, and I'm also in music class. I'm a musician. I'm playing the drums in church. So when I'm playing the drums in church, every song has a bridge. I'm listening to Meet Me at the Walter, and I'm over here listening. Okay, these brothers got some good voices and all, but where's the bridge? Like, I'm 19, I'm 18. Like, why can't my music have a bridge? All the other music had a bridge. The bridge is oftentimes my favorite part of the song. Where are the intros? Where are the tags? No intros, no tags, no part one, no part two, no bridge. So I'm like 18, 19, I'm listening to the music, and in live time, I'm wondering, okay, what happened to these components? When I play when I'm at church and we learn in a song, I gotta learn a fucking intro. I gotta learn a chorus. I gotta learn a bridge. And I gotta learn if we're gonna go into a vamp, where's the vamp gonna be? And when the key changes come, okay, when are we gonna modulate? So I'm learning these structures playing the drums in church. Like, okay, no vamps. Because the Isley Brothers had a song called Make Me Say It Again, Girl, You're All I Need. And the way Ronald Isley rides that song up and up and up, and then there's a bridge, and then you get to the second part of the song, and they vamp, Girl, You're All I Need, and it climbs, and it goes back down, and it climbs again, Girl, You're All I Need, goes back down, then, Girl, You're All I Need, then it goes back up, and then the song that come out when I'm in college is now, first of all, you know these softball players wouldn't tell you this. Nigga, you don't even sound like a player. You sound like a fucking cornball. To calling yourself a so-called player. Nigga, sit your ass down. These baggy ass jeans. Nigga, wear a suit. You ain't Jodeci. Who's this fake ass Jodeci out here? At least Jodeci said, come and talk to me. I really want to meet you. I love Jodeci. Who's this fake ass Jodeci talking about something? We might as well get married. What kind of shit is this? These are my thoughts as a 19-year-old America. Man, yeah, I like Drew Hill. I like Drew Hill. Drew Hill was real. But I just saw in real time. What's up, Evan? I just saw this shit happen and unfold in real time. I saw the quality of music drop. I remember when I was 19 thinking, man, this music is not as good as it was when I was 12. I just didn't know why. So the reason why I know, part of the reason why I know so much history on music is I'm a curious ass nigga. The minute something gets on my mind and it kind of pisses me off, I have to find out why. So my music history, this shit wasn't born in me trying to say, hey, one day I'm going to get on YouTube and create a music channel and tell all of this wonderful history. I ain't thinking about no corny shit like that. I was just mad music started to suck. And why does it suck? Why is Omarion famous? Why is what the fuck is when B2? I'm like, I always saw B2K as like it's like novelty music. Like, okay, this is some novelty shit for kids. Like, why is this music a thing? That shit used to really like if anyone who knew me, I don't know if there's anybody in here that Chris ain't in the chat. Anybody who knew me in my 20s, niggas used to call me an old man in my 20s, especially in my early 20s. They'd be like, nigga, you don't like nothing. I'd be like, no, because ain't none of this shit as good as motherfucking New Edition. Like, I used to, as a kid, look forward to the new music that was going to come out. I really did when I was a child. I looked forward to new good music. And as the 90s progressed, that started to happen less and less and less. And that shit used to piss me off. So I had to figure out why. You feel me? I had to figure out why. So I spent a lot of time finding out why. And all of that information was just for me, just for my own personal understanding. And then some jackass named Busta Rock, Busta Rhymes, and Pete Rock had to come out and say hip hop is Jamaican. That's when I was like, oh, hell no. Nah. I can't let this shit ride. Let me start running my mouth about music more now. But that all that information, that shit was from my own understanding. I wasn't thinking about you niggas. Sorry to say it like that, but I really wasn't. I didn't know you motherfuckers existed. Hell, matter of fact, during this time, I wouldn't even get. I was like, YouTube didn't exist. I'm like, shit. Maybe I'll get a job one day doing some shit. That's the best I could think of. Well, maybe like one day I work at KJLH. Well, no goddamn YouTube back then. Yeah, that Fat Joe episode. Yep. A fusion, all that. The Fat Joe episode. Um, all that. All that. All that. Like the Pete Rock, when me and Pete Rock got into it on Twitter last year, and that nigga started trolling me for like a month, trying to give me examples. And every time he hit me with an example, I'm like, nigga, you talking about 1974, dude? I'm talking about 1912. We in different leagues, bruh. You have some dope hits, yeah, cool. But nigga, stand in line. For every one Jamaican that had a hit, I give you 100,000 foundational Black Americans. I had 10. So chill, dog. Chill, chill. This shit was born out of necessity. I appreciate that straight fire. Yeah, man, I learned this shit from me. I had no ulterior motive. I'm just a curious ass dude. When shit bugs me, I have to find out why. And so when I was a kid, going back to when I was 14, 15, man, I had my dad down, man, let's go to Amoeba Music. Nigga, Amoeba, you can get old jazz CDs for like $1 or two. But then you also get like used VHS tapes, like documentaries. So when I would find a drummer that I liked, or a music or album that I like, I would go down and I would also go down to the library. This before the internet. In the library, you can rent tapes for free. So I was always at the library when I was 16, 17. I'm getting documentaries on Miles Davis. You know what I mean? I used to like they can rent the tapes for free for a month. So I would be down there and I would be renting like tapes for like a history of Dizzy Gillespie, the history of jazz, the history of rock and roll, the history of Elvis. I would I would get and then anytime that shit came on PBS, anytime Ken Burns had a documentary on music, or if I could, and my dad was always into documentaries. So oftentimes, like my dad would just be watching some shit on public access, and it'd be like a Barry White interview, and I would go and just sit next to my dad, and we watch these interviews together. And then after the interview, like if like they'll be interviewing somebody from like the Isley Brothers, whatever. After the interview, my dad would tell me we would just talk. We'd be like, "Yeah, man, I remember when that song came out in '76, and we had a dance called such and such." And then when I would watch documentaries like on jazz, I remember watching a documentary on bebop, and then they were like, "Yeah, when that song dropped, when bebop came out, it had a certain dance, and beboppers had a certain way of dressing." And so I started putting two and two together. I'm like, man, whether we talking about bebop or funk or disco, that's the same thing with hip hop. It's like it has a certain song, it has a certain way of dressing, and it has a certain dance to it. And so I started putting two and two together. So by the time I'm like 20, I got all this shit figured out. 21, and then when I was in college, I took music history courses at Santa Monica College and at Cal State Northridge. Like, and I became like really cool with both my music teachers. To the point to where I had their cell numbers and we would talk. And when I'm in these music classes, I'm learning these music history classes. I'm learning more and more in depth about our music, and I'm just cataloging, and I'm really starting to see, okay, I see a rhythm here. Every time Black people have come out with the new sound, we also come out with the new slang around that sound. And our slang is regional. New York slang is always going to be different than New Orleans slang. It's always going to be different than Kansas City slang. We come out with a sound, a slang, a style of dress, a style of artwork, and a style of dance. Those are the components that go into every sound. The Appalachians got a sound, a way of dressing, a certain slang, a certain way they talk, a particular dance to their music. Same thing when you're dealing with the blues. You got the rural blues and you got the Chicago blues. The guys in the rural Delta blues, the rural Mississippi blues, they may wear overalls and a tank top, look like sharecroppers. But them cats that are signed to chess records in Chicago, they're not about to dress like a bunch of farmers. They're gonna wear these suits. You know what I mean? So I got to see when I was in college the rhythm between my dad's stories, me watching documentaries all the time, me learning this shit in college. I see the pattern. Everything hip hop was claiming was boastful and unique about itself is true everywhere else. So the shit that see me saying right now, I was saying this shit 20 years ago. Hip hop people, you niggas need to reconnect with your mama and father in blues and jazz. You're not different. You're not special. And back then, niggas just be like, man, Dwan, man, you was like old music, man. I'm like, no, black people, this is just our culture. Hip hop is just Generation X's and the millennials expression of everything that comes before it. That's all of us do this shit. But niggas would call me like I was the dude that people would just be like, all right, Dewan, all right, yeah, you got it. All right, yeah. Look what ended up happening. Hip hop. And if you ask Larry, I don't even know if Larry's in the chat room. still. But me and Larry was having these conversations 10 years ago. I remember we'd be sitting here at the same building I'm at right now. Me and Larry be up in the house smoking, listening to music, and he'd be playing some shit from Dilla or something else because I wasn't as into Dilla. Larry got me into Dilla, and during that time, that's when I was getting into him. And I'd be like, Larry be telling me shit, about Scarface, about different sides of hip hop I wasn't as into, and I'd be like, nigga, this is the same rhythm, and it was the same way in jazz. What's up, DJ Ratchet? That's my nigga right there. But we would but I was saying these stories back then. Hey, DJ Ratchet, hey, Rich. I was just telling them I was just telling them how cool I am with people from church back in the day. A nigga DJ Ratchet, he one of them. I was just telling the chat room about an hour ago, nigga, how I'm still hella cool with my people from church. Yeah, Frank Green, you grew up more on what Larry grew up on. You you and so Larry will put me up on game about DJ Screw and more intricacies of the ghetto. I like the Ghetto Boys too, but I wasn't as into them. I knew about the UGK. I grew up on I like Outkast. I grew up on Outkast, Q, Nas, but really mostly West Coast. DJ Quick, nigga, NWA, Dre, Snoop, but yeah, these cats. That's how it be, man. They're like, yeah, that's how it is with the music, man. But it's the same rhythm. But we wasn't really recognizing that. And then now, because of our division and our sound and our lack of cultural continuity, that's left a wide open gate for these other groups to claim what's ours. Yeah, yeah, chop and screw is. If you want to go back to some of your early screw music, pre-screw, I would say screw before screw because they weren't chopping it. It was played live. Pre-screw music, go to Funkadelic. They have a song called Good Thoughts, Bad Thoughts. Tell me if that's not Screw, if you ain't a live version of Screw 20 years before Screw. Good Thoughts, Bad Thoughts by Funkadelic. From the way he's recording his voice, even to the message. But if you listen to that song, Good Thoughts, Bad Thoughts, that song is highly metaphysical. It's telling you the keys to life in that song. You are an exact reproduction of your thoughts. All thoughts have seeds that implant in your mind. Change your mind, change your relation to time. And listen to the words of that song. You meet in life the exact reproduction of your thoughts. You ascend to your highest aspirations. You descend to the lowest thought of yourself. These are the lyrics of that song, Good Thoughts, Bad Thoughts. But it's very screw, it's very spacey. It's not one of them songs if you went in one of the movies to get up and dance, that is not the song to listen to. That's a song you listen to when you high as hell and you just in your own mind, you in your own thoughts. You just kind of sitting there zoned out. That is a screw song, but as of 1975. Yeah, because George would do this and stuff like that, where he would like slow down. He would have like a lot of reverb, and he would sort of talk in the reverb and through a processor, through a voice alterator. He had a lot of songs like that. There's another song that's like that. It's called Momento Backwash Psychosis Enema Squad. Go look up that song. It's on the One Nation Under Groove album. That's also kind of screw-ish. It's called Momento Backwash Psychosis Enema Squad. The world is a toll-free toilet. Our mouths are neurological assholes. And psychologically speaking, we're in a state of mental diarrhea. Talking shit a mile a minute. That's how those lyrics go. We are in a state of mental diarrhea. Talking shit a mile a minute. And you have Eddie Hazel on the guitar welling his ass off. Oh shit. And on that song you got Eddie Hazel welling his ass off on that guitar. That guitar sound, it's gonna feel all kinds of screw. Aaliyah Baker versus Saturday Part 1 and 2. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. But yeah, knowing yourself also means just knowing how you zone out and get back to yourself, man. You gotta know you gotta have the tools it takes to calm down because we live in a stressful ass world that be on some bullshit. You know what I mean? So it's vitally important that you know how to do whatever it is you need to do to be calm, be cool, be collected. You know? And for me, it's music. For a lot of people, it is. For us as people, as black people especially, use your music as your time to zone out and get back into yourself when you're feeling razzle dazzle. You know, you gotta find yourself some good live, some good rich music to zone out to. Quan said you learn to not internalize anything. Shit, that means those around you better watch the fuck out. Yeah. Shit, my battery getting low. I was gonna go to the pool hall. What time is it? It's 11 something. That's too late now. Man, my plan was to talk to y'all for an hour, then go shoot pool. Nigga, y'all done had me here for 2 hours. God damn, I look down at the time. These motherfuckers done have me. Man, now I'm not gonna play no pool. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. Book your readings at. I'm gonna do. I don't know either tomorrow. Definitely not Friday, but tomorrow or Saturday. I'm gonna do some readings. Hit the number one if y'all down for me to do some live readings. I'm gonna do them short. I'm gonna do shorter readings so I can get more callers. Usually I be on. Like I look some of my calls. I have people on for like 15 minutes. I'm gonna do like 5 minute readings. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do 5 minute readings either tomorrow or Saturday. I'll let y'all know. Look at this truck right here. This is like one of those repo trucks. Somebody getting they caught. Somebody didn't pay. Y'all know when y'all see them repo trucks, repo vans. They got the little tow and hitch in the back of their flatbed. See this motherfucker going. Somebody did not pay their car note tonight. I look like, okay, I look like he ain't found the car. They kept going. I saw somebody get repoed one time. That shit was hilarious. When I see shit that, I'm sorry. I'm, am I mean for that? Like when I see shit happen, like if I see somebody like getting repoed, or if that shit be funny to me. Like when that truck sneak up, it be like, yak 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 yak, gone. I was out here smoking one night about 3 in the morning, and a truck, one of them repo vans came down. I went and looked. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? Nigga, that car was going at 30 seconds. And he was between other cars. I don't know how the motherfucker slid him over. Like, nigga, that shit was hilarious. Hey, you 5 diamonds. Oh yeah, another 5. You fives are razzle dazzle frantic, but like fives are hot and cold. It depends on your mood, which side they gonna see from you. And you a diamond? Okay. I've never read a 5 of diamond person. Just knowing what I know off the top of my head about diamonds and fives. Yeah, diamonds, you probably 5 of diamonds probably dress. You probably when you dress, you be wearing like you clean when you go out. But you also can wear basketball shorts and not trip. It's fives can go either way. But since fives go through so much, and it's a diamond, those people can be very refined. I've never actually read someone who's a 5 of diamond. I'm just pulling. But yeah, but I'm gonna do a reading show pretty soon, either tomorrow or Saturday, depending on my schedule. We should be doing Craig Facts tomorrow. If we don't do Craig Facts, I'm definitely gonna read. We do a reading show, but if we do Craig Facts, it depends on how I feel when I get back. It depends on how I feel when I get back. But if I don't do it Thursday, I'm definitely gonna do it Saturday. All right. And yeah, t-shirts, get them at Hotepish, get them at Incense and Ashtrays. And there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. For those who are willing to pick up the game. I'll holler at y'all.